you say that rethinking is built on three different parts or aspects. How do you call them in the book? You have pluralism, real world, and values.
Yeah, these are what we call in the book principles to sort of always keep in mind whenever designing or redesigning any course or any full curriculum in economics. So I think pluralism, probably the one that's most familiar to rethinkers everywhere, is the basic idea that if you really want to understand something in the world, anything, any phenomenon, you have to look at it from different sides. And I always like the parable of the blind man and the elephant, where I think most listeners will know it. There's six blind men, and they meet this strange being, and they're trying to figure out what it is. And one is feeling on one side, and he's feeling on the side, and he's like, oh, this feels like a wall. And they're blind men, so they can't see. But to an onlooker, you realize, oh, he's feeling the side of the elephant. And another one is pulling some kind of wire, and he's like, no, I think it's a rope, or maybe a bunch of ropes. And of course, the seeing person would say, hey, that's a tail. And another one feels the tusk, and all together, if they speak and they put their ideas together, or whatever they notice, they come to a full picture of an elephant. And I think that's how theories work as well. One theory is a lens to understand some aspect of reality very well, and is necessarily blinded to other aspects of it, or less suitable at least to see them. It's like if you have a microscope, you can see bacteria really well, and you can't see birds in the sky. You need a different lens for that. So you need to have a collection of lenses around.
That's such an interesting way of looking at it. That also makes it a lot more clear, I guess, because then the economy is the elephant, and all the different theories are all the blind men.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. So how about a real world?
Real world, yeah. So we have a slightly different approach from popular textbooks like, for example, Mankiw and other sort of economics 101, which say that economics is principally a specific way of thinking, a specific lens in the previous metaphor. And we say, no, economics is whatever works to study the economy. And if you're studying a real world phenomenon, like the economy, you need to not only work with theory and not only work with research methods and with abstractions, but you need to look at it as it exists in the real world. So in any program, students should learn about, let's say, the major sectors of the economy around them, the big, what in the Netherlands, what are main industries, clothing, transportation, and so on, finance, and roughly how do those industries work. You need to know something about that real world economy. And you need to know the main institutions, like how do labor and capital negotiate over wages in the area where you live. This is vastly different in different parts of the world. What do the different ministries associated with the economy do, like the Ministry of Finance? What happens there? What's their job? So that's real world. And then the third principle we have is values, where we say there's no point in thinking about the economy or in doing economic research and economic theory if you don't, at least at some level, consider why. So values is about the question why. What do we want to achieve? What kind of economy do we want? What kind of values are important for us? Like the classic split is in current programs, equity and efficiency. These are two very different values. Do you want your economy to be very efficiently productive, or do you want it to be equitably distributed? So sustainability is obviously also a big value. You need to think about these questions whilst rolling out your theories and doing your data research.